What does the annual meeting theme, the power of collaborative innovation, mean for your business? How will you use the annual meeting to collaborate with other stakeholders to address your top issue on the global agenda?
Well, in some ways, collaboration is kind of the new buzzword, and appropriately so. What we're finding is that you just can't stay in your own world anymore. The economy is much more global, and there are so many more stakeholders, whether it be government, client, individuals. There are so many forces now in today's world that if you are not collaborating as a company, you are finding yourself really moving more and more outside of the mainstream. What Davos and the World Economic Forum gives us is an opportunity to have this wide variety of stakeholders and collaborate, government, individuals, academia. So it really is a great opportunity to take collaboration and take the notion of innovation and bring them together and come back with some pretty powerful ideas to move our company forward.
Concerns about a lack of talent and a widening skills gap continue across many industries and regions. How are you responding to these challenges within your organization?
When you look at the talent and what's happening across regions, I guess when you're looking at our business as being in the employment services, it's really what we're about. So I feel a little bit more passionate about this answer maybe than some of the others. We and others have been talking about the talent challenges for years. And now that the demographics are getting tighter and much of these issues are coming closer and closer in, what we're seeing is that companies are struggling. We're seeing that governments are recognizing that the retirement age and the pensioners and the older workforce are critical to what's going on. So what we're really seeing, back to the theme of collaboration, are governments, companies, and individuals really saying, how are we going to address this talent shortage together? Individuals have the power in today's world. They have more choices. The choices are on a global basis. So companies and governments who tend to think maybe potentially a little bit more nationally really need to look at how are we going to develop, how are we going to retain, and how do we stay robust as an economy globally and nationally.
What projects and initiatives are you engaged in with the World Economic Forum, and what drove your choice to partner with the Forum on those projects?
Well, the World Economic Forum for us is more than just one time a year. We participate in the forums across many regions. And the reason we do is the topic of labor, the topic of collaboration comes together so much at these forums. So we really use the Davos World Economic Forum to really become part of the fabric, and therefore being a strategic partner in the forum and having lots of our senior executives participate, whether it be on plenary sessions or in the case of Barbara Beck, who's the president of our European operation, very active in some of the women's issues and the women's issues in businesses. A very, very important topic to the talent in general, and one very close to Manpower's heart, and really seeing that we bring women forward in the business, as well as other areas that we're participating in from all of the various government plenary sessions as well as some of the strategic sessions. So we really see this Davos meeting as really a culmination of many of the World Economic Forums that we have attended and supported throughout the world.
Beyond the rapid growth seen in India and China, which other markets are you watching closely and why?
Well, in many ways, we and many other companies have learned a tremendous amount from India and China and what goes along with rapid growth. And again, speaking as an employment services company, we really see the ramifications on talent. When we look at some of the other areas that are very much seeing some of the same trends, you would look at Vietnam and Cambodia. Clearly the Middle East, which has some very unique challenges because they have such robust economies, robust plans, and absolutely none of the talent or labor indigenously to solve some of those issues. So whether it's coming out of Southeast Asia or whether it's coming out of Eastern Europe, we really see the Middle East as probably the next frontier of where talent needs to be pushed into that market and managed in a way that they are not leaving that market before their assignments are up.
Given the demographic changes that we know are underway, such as increasing percentages of older populations in some regions versus a youth bulge in others, how is your corporation adapting to these shifts?
Well, the demographic changes are very much a center of what we need to do as an organization. Because what is happening is there's just not one trend of aging population. What we're seeing in some regions of the world is clearly an aging population, and others we really see a bulge in the youth side. So it can't be one size that fits all. So what we do is we look at each individual market, how it works for our organization, and how it works for our client organizations. And I think as our own company as well as our clients, we need to start practicing a lot. because without the one size that fits all, you have to be able to accommodate the old workforce, the younger workforce, and very different motivations within both of those categories. So for us, we find it just another talent conundrum that needs to be signed off on and understood by top management and companies before some of these issues can be addressed.
What key thing do you think countries, companies, or individuals should do to make the world a better place in 2008?
Well, it's immensely important that as all of the constituents look at how do you make where you live and work a better place, is that we have to become more active. And I think what companies have done with their corporate social responsibility programs, what governments have done to try to engage those corporations, and most importantly, what we're seeing particularly in the younger generation, but we're seeing it in older, is that there is a real sense of passion and respect for the future. And as a result, in our organization, we see much more volunteering. We see much more passion associated with assisting people. So it is our hope that as we move into 2008, with all of the global and geopolitical challenges, is that we give our individuals in the world and in our companies space to make a difference, because they absolutely want to make a difference. So we'll give them the permission to do that, and this world will, by the end of 2008, be a better place to live.